I just called that for RTC TV4. So we'll get to those post-game numbers when we jump back on RTC4. But tonight, Rochester, Manchester in a rematch, Brad, from about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Rochester played Manchester pretty well a couple of weeks ago. Stayed within about 4 or 5 points throughout the ball game. And then, matter of fact, they were down just one with about 5 minutes to go in that game. And Manchester closed that game out on a 10-0 run to get the 11-point win. Since then, I think Rochester's attitudes have been good, feeling about the draw and their chances to play Manchester again. Manchester, on the meantime, went out and got themselves a tie for the TRC championship by knocking off Tippecanoe Valley
on the road,
putting them in a tie for the lead in the conference with Northfield. And so, you know, we're not real sure what to expect from this Manchester team coming in here tonight. You know, the postseason and you know, everything's on the line now. So, you know, I kind of feel like we're going to see a different Manchester team than we saw a couple weeks ago.
We're back with the RTC viewing audience, and if you want to go ahead and recap the post-game numbers from the first game, again, Oak Hill wins tonight 54-23.
So Oak Hill, Marissa Wilkes with 4, Andrea Wilk with 6, Lexi Carmichael with 1, Hasty with 5, McCorkle with 8, Trexler with 8, and Roby and Westgate each with 11 for Oak Hill in their win. They were 11 of 16 from the free throw line and turned the ball over just 10 times, did the Oak Hill Lady Eagles. For North Miami, Hall with 2, Tinney with 4, Freeman with 7, and Kime led the Lady Warriors tonight with 10 points. They only got to the free throw line twice. They were 2 of 5 from the line. They turned the ball over 16 times. Again, that score went to Oak Hill 54-23.
Again, this game, the Rochester Lady Zebras and the Manchester Lady Squires, the first time we saw this game, neither team shot well from the floor.
No.
Rochester hung around, and then at the end, Manchester pulled away. Rochester has got to use their length tonight.
I agree. They've got a little bit of a size advantage. They've got to be able to take advantage of that. I think they're going to start with a larger lineup. Hopefully that'll equate into some buckets down low. I think they're going to want to try and keep it to a half-court set. You sure don't want to get out and run the floor with this Manchester team. I think if you do, it creates lanes and opportunities for them to use their speed. Manchester really quick feet and hands, and that they took advantage of that on Rochester in the first meeting with you know, creating a lot of turnover opportunities for themselves.
You know, I talked to Coach Brian Jennings, and we'll get to that pregame interview here in a minute, but he was saying in that game they had about 24 turnovers, which for them was pretty good. I have a feeling tonight we're going to have to find all of their shooters.
Yeah. The three-point shot really didn't hurt us a whole lot in that first game.
Right.
But I don't think it's for the lack of trying. I just think it was from the lack of, you know, whatever, goodwill or whatever. The ball just wasn't going through the net for Manchester. And I would look for them to, especially if Rochester comes out in a zone, to put that up from three-point range a lot more tonight.
Some scores from around the area before we get to the interview. At last report, Southwood was leading Frontier 30-9. Also in Class 3A, Lakeland led Wawasee at halftime, 26-20. The winner of that game will get Tippecanoe Valley tomorrow night. And in the first of a triple header tonight at North White, Tri-County defeated Casson 54-47. And the game here earlier this evening, Oak Hill showed why they were number 3 in Class 2A. They defeated North Miami 54-23. We had a chance to talk to Lady Zebra head coach Brian Jennings. We'll do that next. You're listening and watching the Rochester Iron and Metal pregame show on 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available, and free production is included with every sponsorship package. If you are seeing this, then your customers are seeing it too. RTC TV4. See for yourself. Please support the local sponsors who make this production possible.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the county, not the country. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout North Central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Back at Manchester High School for the Rochester Iron and Metal pregame show on WROI and RTC TV4. Again, the first game in the books. Oak Hill, number 3 in Class 2A, rolls to a win over North Miami tonight, 54-23. So Oak Hill, Brad, will play Wabash tomorrow night in the semifinal round. The winner of this game will get Lewis Cass in the semis.
Yeah, Lewis Cass probably no probably about it, the worst team in the sectional. So I think the winner of this team will definitely have the easier game tomorrow night and be a lot fresher come Monday. But that's going to be a tall tale to get back past either one, Oak Hill or Wabash.
Yeah, look, bottom line is, we said before the first game, the road will go through Oak Hill. So you can be as rested as you possibly can be going into Monday night's championship game. But I tell you what, that's a tall order to fill if you're going to knock off the number 3 team in the state.
I think the nice advantage that whoever wins this game is going to have is they could probably come through tomorrow morning and have a walkthrough and a light practice thinking of playing Oak Hill Monday in preparation, because you're probably not going to have to do much prep for Lewis Cass.
Yeah. So it'll be Rochester-Manchester here momentarily in game number 2 here at Manchester High School. Of course, with the weather, everything's been pushed down to pushed back, I should say, to a Friday, Saturday, Monday. Now, the last time the Rochester could get to a Monday, the last time Rochester Lady Zebras won a championship on Monday was about 3 or 4 years ago when they were in 3A, and they knocked off number 2 South Bend St. Joe.
Yeah, you're right. Went on to win the regional that following weekend on a short week.
Yeah, and in the same week, beat number 1 Benton Central at home.
You're right.
So it's very possible. First things first, though, we got to take care of a little business here on the road and defeat a really good Manchester Lady Squires team that I have a feeling got a wake-up call the first time they played the Rochester Lady Zebras. They brought their A game against Valley.
We remember that game was moved up a night. It was scheduled for a Saturday night, but because of the snow that was forecast for that Saturday, they moved it up to Friday and played a boy-girl doubleheader, and the girls played first, which means they played at 6 o'clock. So I'm guessing that, threw everybody's rhythm off a little bit, being moved up a full day and then playing the first game of the evening. So we'll see how this works. Both teams got, we get the second game tonight. It's more like you would see in a regular season ball game.
Yeah, that's right. So that's going to wrap up the Rochester Iron and Metal pregame show. We're going to take a 90-second timeout, come back with the starters and the tip in game number 2, the Manchester Sectional next. You're listening and watching Rochester Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available, and free production is included with every sponsorship package. If you are seeing this, then your customers are seeing it too. RTC TV4. See for yourself. Please support the local sponsors who make this production possible.
Back at Manchester High School, time now for the starting lineups. First for the Manchester Lady Squires, they have a record of 15-7 at one guard. Will be a 5'8 senior, Jeremy Kripe. At another guard will be a 5'6 senior, Kennedy Fierstos. At a third guard will be a 5'7 junior, Kyra Hatfield. At one forward, a 5'7 sophomore, Eva Bozzoni. And the other forward will be a 6' senior, Kennedy Lauer. Manchester coached by Mr. Jake Everett. For the Rochester Lady Zebras, they have a record of 8-13 at one guard. Will be a 5'7" junior, Macy Brown. The other guard, a 5'8" senior, Karina Peterson. At one forward, a 6-foot freshman, Emily Hughes. The other forward, a 5'10" sophomore, Caitlin Rogers. And the third forward, 6'1" junior, Kenzie McKee. Rochester coached by Mr. Brian Jennings. We're going to take a 30-second timeout, come back with the tip from Manchester next, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
Players available for substitution for the Rochester Lady.
Back at Manchester High School, we're moments away from getting this one underway. Manchester has been introduced. They are the visitors tonight here at Manchester High School. They'll be in the Road Blacks, the Rochester Lady Zebras in the Road Whites. You know, we talked a little bit before, Brad, that we absolutely have got to use our link tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, both Fiersteos and Bozzoni combined for 26 last time in that game. And I don't, you know, like we said, they weren't real proficient from outside the three-point arc. Most of those shots came from inside the paint or within about 10 feet. And so Rochester's got a good job of in their zone defense, taking those shots away.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing about Manchester, they're not real tall, but man, they are fast, quick.
I would think, you know, if Rochester could get a good defensive game plan, it would be to force Manchester to look at taking the three.
And maybe you run a 3-2 zone instead of a 2-3 and get line up around the arc.
Yeah, force them to stay outside, move that ball on the perimeter.
Nice following tonight by the Lady Zebra crowd. Of course, it's been 55,000 below zero. It's good to get out of the house.
That's true, too.
Good heavens. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Game 2 of the first round of the Class 2A sectional. The winner of this game will get Lewis Cass tomorrow night in the semifinal. The first game semifinal is already set. It'll be Oak Hill and Wabash.
You brought that up with the weather this week. Nobody's had school since Monday afternoon.
That's right.
And practice schedules have been slim this week.
You did hear Coach Brian Jennings say in the pregame that they have practiced every week, or every day but Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it'll be Lauer and Thomas make that, Rogers to jump center. Rochester will go to our right. And the tip is controlled by the Lady Zebras, and Macy Brown will run the point, and she'll work against the man-to-man defense. Brown works to the right wing, kicks it outside to to Rogers, feeds down low to McKee. Kenzie to Peterson to Brown, left wing. Caitlin Rogers watches it go through her hands, and it's going to be a backcourt violation. First turnover of the game goes to Rochester. Manchester will have it. That one went right through her hands.
Yeah, got to watch it into your hands before you decide what you're going to do with it.
Hatfield for Manchester, gets it into Bozzoni. Back to Hatfield, now top of the key to Fiersteos. Rochester in a 2-3. Bozzoni right side of Fiersteos. Baseline to Kripe. Outside to Hatfield, drives it right against the defense, kicks it to Fiersteos. Out to Bozzoni, now to Fiersteos. Fiersteos drives, splits the double team. Out to Hatfield. Hatfield backs it out. Right side of Fiersteos, fakes a three, drives the baseline. Good defense by Rochester to Kripe. Hatfield, left wing three, nope. And the rebound to McKee. McKee clears now to Macy Brown, and Rochester brings it up. Minute into the first quarter, no score here at Manchester in game number 2. Peterson for three, no good. Weak side rebound comes down to Hughes. Emily Hughes has it ripped away by Kripe, picked up by Fiersteos. Another turnover on the Lady Zebras. Fiersteos in the right wing, cut off by the double team. Wrap around pass in the corner to Hatfield, off her fingertips and out of bounds.
Emily Hughes doing a good job of shutting that baseline off underneath the basket. That's twice the last 2 possessions. Manchester's tried to dribble underneath the basket along the baseline, and Hughes has forced them to turn the ball over.
And we're doing a good job keeping our position, not trying to hit somebody out of bounds.
Yeah, you're right.
Full court press by Manchester. And Cripe knocks it out of bounds. It will stay with Rochester. Probably, fortunately, went out of bounds to reset the count.
Second, yeah.
Karina Peterson will look to get it in for the Lady Zebras. Peterson still looking to get it in, lobs it into McKee. McKee ahead to Peterson. Karina runs right down the floor, right side of the floor, and travels.
She had Rogers on the opposite block, so I think she was going to try and flip it across the lane, but the defense slid in front. She just lost her footing.
Manchester gets it back, no score. Rochester in the 3-2 zone. Cripe on the baseline against Hughes. Hooks her a little bit with the elbow. Outside of Fiersteos, top of the key. Back to Hatfield. In the paint to Lauer. Lauer to Hatfield. Make that Bozzoni. 3, nope. Good rebound. Block out by the Lady Zebras. Brown to the rat basketball.
And early in this game, Manchester is being forced to look at that 3-point shot.
Rochester turns it over again. Emma West comes into the game for the first time for Rochester, and Cripe will have a seat. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman.
Yeah.
3 turnovers on the Lady Zebras here. About 2 minutes into the first quarter, no score yet here at Manchester. Again, the winner of this game will get cast tomorrow night. Hatfield to West, high on the right side to Fiersteos, top of the key straight away. Left side to Hatfield. In the paint, ball tipped away and stolen by Hughes, now to Brown. Macy pushes, Lexi Thomas, who led Rochester in scoring the last time Manchester and Rochester played, checking in the next opportunity. McKee against a double team and travels.
That's 5 straight turnovers for Rochester to start this game.
Emily Hughes comes out and Lexi Thomas checks in. Cripe back into the game for Manchester, and Hatfield will come out. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Manchester basketball going to our left in the Road Blacks. Emma West runs a point. She'll jog it through the center circle. Rochester.
1-2-2.
Or is that still 3-2? Fiersteos, 3, right wing. Ball bounces around a couple times to the rim. Good rebound by Lexi Thomas. Good block out. Outlets to Brown. Macy pushes. Macy high on the left side to Peterson. Karina with the basketball. Dump pass down low in the paint to McKee. Out to Peterson. Karina, top of the key to Rogers. Her 3 straight away is no good. Good block out by Manchester. Lauer with the rebound. Outlets to West. Under 5 to play in the first quarter. No score. To Bozzoni. To West. Emma Studies back to Bozzoni against a 3-2, and she travels.
That's 3 turnovers now for Manchester.
Hatfield back in for Manchester. Lauer comes out, and now look at the lineup for Manchester. You don't think they're going to rip and run here?
Right.
All of them can get a rebound and run. McKee gets the inbounds pass from Peterson.
She just
over her head. I'm not sure who that was intended to.
Threw it to a spot on the floor, and there wasn't anybody there.
7 turnovers right now for Rochester with 4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. No score. Hatfield make that Bozzoni to Fiersteos around the defense. Euro step. Shot is no good. In and out. Lexi Thomas another big board, and now we have a reach-in foul going to be whistled against Fiersteos.
It is Fiersteos, her first, team first.
Full court press again by Manchester. McKee hands off to Brown. Macy brings it up against Bozzoni. Through the center circle. Top of the key. Outside to Peterson. Fakes a 3. Drives it to the paint. Outside to McKee. Over the top to Rogers on the right wing. Caitlin against Cripe. Goes to the baseline, and she's going to be fouled by Cripe on the drive. It'll be out of bounds to Rochester baseline right. I'm telling you, there's a lot more fouls already being called in this game than there was the first time around.
You're right. Cripe picks up her first, team second.
I am almost certain Macy Brown needed an ice bath after that first game. Brown baseline right will look triggered in. Macy over the top to Thomas. One dribble, hands off to Peterson. Karina with the basketball, backs it out and race sets for Rochester against Hatfield. Bounce pass to Brown. Macy, top to Rogers. Caitlin against West, left side to Peterson. Karina, one dribble to her right, gives her Brown right wing. She drives it right hard against the defense. Tough shot underneath glass, no good. And the rebound to Manchester, Hatfield.
Rochester running their offense above the free throw line.
Hatfield out to West, high on the right side. 3.5 to play in the first quarter. No one has scored yet. Have you ever seen a first quarter score go 0-0?
No, I have not.
West has her ball stripped away, picked up by Rogers. Turnover Manchester. I don't think I've ever either. 3.5. 3. Right wing is good for the Lady Zebras.
And you won't tonight either.
And now Manchester will take a timeout at the 30. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Emma West in the center circle, gets instructions from Coach Jake. Now to Kripe. Hands off to Fiersteos. Macy doing a really good job on her.
She is, yes. Rogers out on the point of that zone creates a little bit of an issue. They're trying to reverse the ball.
I think Rochester's going to let West shoot from there if she wants to. They're kind of backing away from her. Fiersteos dumps down low to Lauer. Lauer against Hughes. Shot no good. West put back no good. Ball being tipped around. Ball loose. Fiersteos has it. Another offensive board. To West. Drives the right baseline against Hughes. And Emily Hughes going to pick up the foul. It's going to be out of bounds to Manchester. Baseline right with 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Rochester up 3-0.
First on Hughes, first on Rochester.
Kennedy Fiersteos will look to trigger it in for Manchester. Baseline right underneath her basket. Fiersteos. Lob pass to Kripe. Her shot blocked, but they're going to say Rogers got some arm, and that's going to send Kripe to the line to shoot two for Manchester.
And the first on Rogers.
3-0 Rochester. 2.5 to play in the first quarter. Jenny Isbell will be the first one off the bench for the Lady Zebras. No, I lied. Second one because...
Yeah, Thomas came in.
Well, you know what? Third one because Lexi's Thomas is in and Cammie Burkett is in.
Oh, I missed Burkett coming in.
Yeah, me too, apparently. So Caitlin Rogers will get a break, and Jenny Isbell will check in for her.
Kripe gets Manchester's first point.
She'll have one more from the free throw line. Bozzoni will come back in for Coach Everett. Second one's good, and she'll replace Fiersteos for the Lady Squires. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. 2.5 to play first quarter. Rochester up 3-2. Manchester in a full court press. Isbell gets it into Burkett. Cammie with the basketball. And now they're face guarding Macy Brown. Burkett around the defense. Lob pass down low to Isbell against a double team. Kicks it out to Hughes. 10-footer in the base, and the paint is good. Emily Hughes, her first two of the night. Rochester up 5-2. 2:10 to play in the first quarter. West against the zone defense. I'm going to call it a 3-2.
All right.
Hatfield on the left wing. To Bozzoni, right side to West. Baseline to Kripe, back to West behind the arc for Manchester. Quickly Hatfield, top of the key. Minute 50 to play in the first quarter. Wraparound pass down low to Kripe. Her jumper's good from inside the lane.
She's got all four now for Manchester.
Good look by the senior, Emma West. And the inbounds comes into Hughes. Emily, couple of dribbles to Burkett. Bozzoni is in the jersey of Macy Brown. Macy has it now on the right wing. Bounce pass top to Isbell. Stands at the volleyball line. Works left to the left elbow. Picks up her dribble. Out to Brown. Right side to Burkett. Drives the right baseline, and she's going to be called for a charge.
Burkett's first, team third.
You got to go. 1:15 to play in the first quarter. 5-4, Rochester. Still against the 3-2 zone. High on the right side of Hatfield, baseline to Kripe. Kripe over the top to Hatfield, is, make that Fiersteos is back in the game to Hatfield on the right wing. Now to Bozzoni between the rings of the volleyball line. Back to Hatfield. Bounce pass to Fiersteos to Hatfield to Bozzoni. Now to Hatfield. Fiersteos, baseline to Kripe. Down low to Lauer. Wide open layup is good, and Manchester now up 6-5 for the first time tonight. 50 seconds. Full court press by the Squires. Burkett against Bozzoni. Crossover dribble. Nice crossover dribble through the center circle. Now backs out. Resets for Rochester. Bounce pass to the elbow to Hughes. Hughes to Burkett with 30. Cammy around the defense. Now we're going to have a legal screen whistled against Macy Brown.
That'll be her first.
Turnover Rochester.
Rochester foul, number 12, Macy Brown, her second, team 4.
That 3-2 zone was a triangle and 2.
Okay.
You know, it's good to have viewers at home help us with our broadcast. I appreciate that. You listening to me?
No, I'm trying to figure out how they got Brown with 2 fouls.
Oh.
Because I only have her for, that was her first.
Hatfield dumps down low to Lauer. And the ball is going to be knocked out of bounds by Peterson. It'll stay with Manchester baseline right. Macy Brown has come out of the game. That must be 2 for them.
Burkett and Rogers each got called for a foul, and I'm wondering if they put one of Rogers' foul on Brown's in the book, which is not a good thing.
No, you're exactly right. Bozzoni around the defense, now on the baseline against Rogers. Over the top to Hatfield, right side of Fiersteos, and the baseline to Kripe. Kripe, skip, Bozzoni, 3, left baseline is way off the mark, no good. But an offensive rebound to Fiersteos, put back at the buzzer's good. After 1, Manchester now leads Rochester 8-5. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the county, not the country. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
Here at Manchester High School, now Rochester down by 3 at 8-5. We're trying to get a little clarification on the foul issue for Rochester. So Jake Ruff is working the book tonight for the Lady Zebras. And
ignoring you.
Well, story of my life. I was just talking to you and you ignored me the whole time.
Oh, I know it. Well, I'm hearing you, so it's I'm not ignoring you.
Oh, Kripe's nice job by McKee, who stood her ground. Kripe ran right into her and fell down and whistled for a travel. Full court press by Rochester. Sierra Weathers in the game for the first time for the Lady Zebras. McKee against Kripe, loses the handle, picks up the loose ball. Rochester's going to have to use a timeout. Coach Jennings going to have to use a timeout, and there it is. It will be a 60. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value in Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
.37 to play in the first half. Manchester now up 8-5. And after the Rochester turnover, they'll have it on the far side. Macy Brown back in the game. Macy gets it into McKee, who hands off to Brown, who works against Fierstos. Coming up at halftime, we'll have Val from the Rochester Sentinel, who will talk about some swimming tonight at the Warsaw Sectional. Peterson down low to Isbell. Jenny, leaner on the way, is no good. A lot of contact, no foul on Kripe. Gets her own rebound out to Peterson. Now to Rogers. Swings near side of Brown on the right wing, right in front of the Manchester bench. Now to Peterson, who backs it out and resets for Rochester in the center circle. Karina Peterson dribbles with the left hand. High on the left side to Rogers. To Isbell, cutting through the lane. Now on the left baseline, loses the handle, picks up the loose ball, and then her pass is deflected away. Picked up by Brown, now to Rogers. Down low to McKee. Kenzie McKee shot partially blocked, and we're going to have a tie-up on the rebound. Rochester will keep possession.
Brown's had a couple opportunities to put up a three, but she's not taken any yet.
Under 7 to play in the first half. 3-point lead for Manchester. Here in game number 2, the first game tonight went to Oak Hill over North Miami, 54-23. They will have Wabash tomorrow night in the semis, and now another travel whistled against Rochester.
Manchester ball.
6:50 to play in the first half.
So it's unforced turnovers that can hurt you.
Yeah, good call. Hatfield to Fierstos high on the right side. Coach Everett will send in a couple of subs, Emma West being one of them. Here in the next opportunity, I believe Mackenzie Day as well. And then Isbell steals the pass. Jenny Isbell goes coast to coast, foul on the shot. She'll go to the line to shoot 2. Bozzoni will pick up the foul, and Isbell at the line.
First on Bozzoni, team third.
So Jenny Isbell, a junior, at the line to shoot 2 for the Lady Zebras, who are down by 3 with 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. Isbell's free throw just barely draws in front of the iron, no good. And Day and West back in for Manchester. Lauer and Hatfield out. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Game number 2, night 1 of the high school girls basketball sectional. Second for Isbell's no good again. And the rebound to Bozzoni. Manchester runs up by 3. West high on the left side. Quickly today. Feeds down low to Kripe. Wraparound layup is no good, and Rogers with the rebound. To Brown. Macy runs. Works against Fierstos. Forces her left. Bounce pass high on the left side to Peterson. Lob pass inside to Rogers against a double team. Wraparound passes at the feet of McKee. Ball loose. Going to be tied up. Manchester going to get it back. Turnover Rochester.
That's 9 now in the first half for Rochester.
2 minutes into the second quarter. 8-5. Yep, 8-5. Fierstos.
A lot like the first
Bozzoni.
game.
What?
It's a lot like the first game.
The
first game was in the fourth quarter. It was 28-29.
West layup is no good. A lot of contact, no foul. I thought you meant the first game tonight.
Oh, no. The first game between these two.
All right, we're on the same page now. 5.5 to play in the first half. 8-5. Manchester. Entry pass knocked away. Ball loose. Fierstos picks it up. Ball still loose on the floor. Nope. Still rolling around. Still have players all over the place. And now we're going to have a tie-up. Rochester will keep possession. Brown baseline right will look to get it in. Now Peterson will trigger it in. Karina studies. Bounce pass into McKee, knocked away by Manchester, saved from going out of bounds by Day, and now knocked out of bounds by Peterson. It'll go back to Manchester. Turnover Rochester.
Nobody has scored yet in this second quarter.
Well, what would it take? 4.5 minutes to score in the first quarter?
I think you're right, yeah.
Lexi Thomas back in for Rochester, and McKee will come out. 5:23 to play in the first half. It's 8-5 Manchester. Again, the winner of this game will have Cass tomorrow night. Championship game on Monday here at Manchester High School. Bozzoni, right wing, fierce toast between the rings, back to Bozzoni. Oh, I thought she looked at a three. She passed it up. Now to West in the corner to fierce toast. Baseline to Day. Day, ball knocked away. They're going to say last touch by Mackenzie Day out of bounds. Good defense by Thomas and Rogers. Rochester going to get it back.
And that's the 7th turnover against Manchester.
Lauer and Hatfield back in. Bozzoni and Day to come out. 5 minutes to play in the first half. Manchester by 3, full court press by the Squires. Isbell gets the inbounds pass from Brown, and Isbell's tied up with West. Rochester going to give it back to Manchester on another turnover. Hatfield into West. Rochester still in that 3-2. West outside to Kripe, back to West. Sends right wing to Fiercetos. Wide open three, no good, but we're going to have a 3-second violation whistled against Manchester. Is Rogers the only one that's hit a three?
Yes. Yep.
Bozzoni comes back in for the Squires. Kripe will sit down. 4:51 to play in the first half. Val coming up at halftime. Talk swimming. And now we're going to have an illegal screen whistled against Peterson. Another turnover on Rochester. We have seen more legal screens in the last 2 weeks than we've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know if they had a mid-season conference about that or what. But.
Fierce toast to Bozzoni. Bozzoni in the paint. Tough jumper off the glass. Nope. Another Lexi Thomas, another rebound. Boy, she come flying in out of nowhere and grab that board, and now we're going to have a travel whistle against Rochester.
And now the turnovers are starting to mount for Rochester.
How many?
13.
Neither team has scored in this quarter. 8-5 Manchester. Bozzoni lobs it in over the top of the defense to West. Back to Bozzoni, goes to the basket. Jumper is good off the glass.
That's
and it's
Bozzoni's
10-5.
First points of the game.
Hey, McConaughey came back to beat Frankfurt. Wow. Val, would you say that's a mild upset? No? Okay. McConaughey come back to beat Frankfurt tonight, 53-43. Congratulations to the Braves. They're pretty young. Rochester basketball. Brown, bounce pass into Hughes. Emily right in front of the Rochester bench. Crossover dribble. Picks up her dribble outside of Brown. Brown across the timeline. Macy bounce pass to Peterson. Karina holds. Directs traffic with her head. You go to the left, please. Entry pass comes down to Lexi Thomas. Thomas in the paint against Lauer. Tough jumper on the way is no good. Hughes put back no good. But we're going to have a foul before the shot on
Hughes.
Emily Hughes.
That's her second.
4:10 to play in the first half. 10-5. Manchester.
Team 6.
Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Manchester basketball. And now we have a kick on Rochester. Manchester will keep possession on the far side. Brown make that West. Top of the key, left side of Hatfield. Down little Lauer in the paint to Fiercetos. Another 3-second call whistle against.
Lauer turned the wrong way. If she'd turned the other way, she could have probably had an easy one off the backboard.
Full court press by Manchester. Under 4 to play in the first half. Brown looks to get it in around Fiercetos. Baseball pass picked off by West, and she over and back. Yep. She grabbed it on her side of the 10-second line. Momentum carried her across the 10-second line into the Rochester side of the floor, and a over and back violation whistled against Manchester. Rochester at the timeline, far side of the court. Peterson gets it into Hughes. She picks up her dribble now to Brown in the center circle. Macy works left side against Fiercetos, gives him the corner.
Down to Thomas. Thomas against the triple team, loses it.
Another turnover on Rochester, and now Peterson's picked up another foul.
That'll be her second, team 7th, and Manchester's in the bonus.
Lakeland defeated Wawasee tonight by 20 in Class 3A, 53-33. And that will be a rematch from earlier in the year with Lakeland and Tippecanoe Valley. Val was telling me that Lakeland in that holiday tournament earlier in the year had Valley down by 12, and Tippecanoe Valley came back and won that by 1.
Yeah. Ought to be a good game tomorrow night then.
Should be. McKee back in and Hughes to sit down. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Who's shooting here? Bozzoni?
Bozzoni.
3.5 to play in the first half. Manchester by 5. Bozzoni hits the first free throw. Manchester's only committed 4 personal fouls. Hospitality room, fantastic again.
As always.
I don't know, and I'm not sure if I care what the results are tonight. If Rochester wins, great, we'll be back. If they don't, I might be back anyway.
Yeah, I told you. See if the wife wants to go out for dinner, bring her on over.
Bozzoni hits both free throws. Rochester turns it over. Fierstos loses the handle, picks it up outside of Hatfield. Hatfield to the left elbow, to Bozzoni. Bozzoni splits the double team, kicks in the corner to West, out to Fierstos, right wing 3, blocked by Burkett, picked up by McKee. Now to Brown. Baseline to Brown, around the defense, works top of the key against West. Bounce pass to Burkett high on the left side. 3 minutes to play in the first half. Down low to Thomas, backs away in against Hatfield. Shot no good, Hatfield to the rebound. A lot of contact, no foul. Now there is.
Yep, Thomas going to pick up the foul. That'll be her first. Rochester still not scored in this second quarter.
3 to play in the first half. 12-5 Manchester. There you go. Val just said 7 minutes since the Rochester's last bucket.
Okay.
Hatfield of the line for 1 in the bonus for Manchester. First one's in and out, no good. Burkett with the rebound. Burkett against Hatfield, brings it up hard for the freshman. Burkett between the rings. Left side to Brown, 3 left wing, no good off the mark. West with the weak side rebound. Manchester runs up by 7. West, Bozzoni drives, throws up a tough shot from 10 feet, no good. And Burkett saves from going out of bounds, and no, she doesn't. It goes out of bounds, last touch by Rochester, baseline left out of bounds to Manchester. Again, the winner of this game will get Cass tomorrow night in the semifinal round, the first game of the semis.
Cass is 1-21.
Are they? Okay. Yeah. Oak Hill and Wabash. Inbounds pass is taken away by Burkett. Cammie Burkett, right side of the floor, goes to the basket, shot partially blocked. West picks up the rebound, and I believe Macy Brown just picked up foul number 3.
She did.
2:20 to play in the first half. Jenny Isbell will come back in, and Macy will probably sit for the rest of the half, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would say that's a safe bet.
At the line, Emma West.
West at the line for 1 in the bonus for Manchester, who leads by 7 at 12-5. Emma with 1 in the bonus. First one for the senior. Good. Emma is on her way to play softball next year at Taylor. West with 1 more, looking to push this lead to 9, and she does so. Manchester is pitching a shutout in this second quarter. They're up 14-5. Val said a little bit ago, Rochester on about a 7.5 to 8 minute scoring drought. And Emma West just picked up a foul. It'll be Rochester basketball out of bounds. Nope. Hatfield, I beg your pardon, Brad. 2:25 to play in the first half. Isbell bounce pass into Rogers. Full court press by Manchester. Jenny Isbell then steps out of bounds on the sideline. Going to give it back to Manchester. Another Rochester turnover.
Line violation, Manchester ball. Back into the ladies' squad.
Day comes back for Manchester, and Hatfield will get a break. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Manchester up right now by 9. With 2:20 to play in the first half, it's 14-5. And the pass is deflected out of bounds by Isbell. I like her length up there. Out of bounds to Manchester on the far side.
Yeah, with her and Rogers out on the front of that zone, it's going to make it a little difficult to get the passes around.
Rochester in that zone defense. Lauer at the left elbow, wrap around pass to Fierstos, drives it right, travels, then we'll go back to Rochester. Rochester's defense is playing pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
We get some shots to fall down.
Again, Manchester with 0 3-pointers in this game, so.
Yeah, but they've shot them too.
Yeah.
The inbounds pass is tipped away and stolen by Fierstos. Bazzoni for three. There you go, KOD. Timeout, Rochester. It's now a 12-point lead in favor of Manchester after that big three by Bazzoni. It is a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
Minute 56 to play in the first half. Manchester still pitching a shutout in this quarter at 17-5. And after the three-point bomb by Bazzoni, Coach Jennings uses a timeout. Full court press by Manchester. Southwood has just defeated Frontier tonight, 56-27. And they'll move on to the semifinal round. Probably, that was almost an over back call against Burkett. Rochester the basketball.
Rochester's got to be going on nearly 10 minutes without a point as they turn it over there.
Another turnover for Rochester. Fierstos. Lauer backs her way in, and she's going to be fouled on the shot by McKee. I believe McKee got her with the body, not so much on the block itself, but on the body, I believe.
That's McKee's first, team 10th.
So Lauer at the line to shoot 2.
Lauer with just 2 in the game.
Free throw
first one, no good.
That wasn't, no good.
That's just the second miss from the free throw line for Manchester.
Coach Brian Jennings now getting into it here, the official on the near side. Say, hey, we're doing the same thing down the other end, and we're not getting a call. How about getting a call, the same call down the other end? Lauer's second free throw, no good. And the offensive rebound by Manchester, but she travels in the meantime. Minute 30 to play in the first half. Manchester up by 12. Full court press by the Squires. Again, winner of this game will get Cass. Rogers, high on the left side. Picks up her dribble after one dribble, now to McKee. McKee holds against the defense. Runs away from the defense, now to Burkett. Burkett against West. Oh, and that's what happens when you chew on the official just a little bit. You get that call.
So West is going to pick up her first.
Are you
team
kidding
5th.
me? They get that call. The moral of the story is, the harder you chew, the
and
more
it was
like
the official that
Jennings got it. You're right.
on that called it. Yep.
Entry pass down low to Rogers. Against a triple team out to McKee. Now in the center circle to Peterson. Peterson directs traffic in the center circle, down to a minute 5 to play in the first half. Rochester still scoreless in this quarter, coming up on 9 minutes scoring drought. McKee on the left baseline against Lauer, backs it out. Over the top to Peterson. Peterson against Fierstros. Goes in the paint to Rogers. Rogers backs her way in and loses it out of bounds. I'm getting a kick out of watching Jake Everett, the head coach of Manchester. That cat's going to need a shower after this game. He's working as hard as the girls are.
Change his shirt at halftime.
Reminds me of Sean Miller from Arizona. Ever seen that guy coach?
No.
He sweats through his sports coat every game. 35 seconds. Lauer outside to Bazzoni for three, top of the key. Off the glass, nope. And Isbell the rebound to Burkett. Burkett against West, across the timeline with 23 to Isbell. Isbell's going to be fouled by Day, and that's going to send Rochester to the line for one in the bonus, I believe. Yep. Rochester an opportunity here to put some points on the board, which would be the first points on the board in this quarter.
You're right. Day picks up her first, team 7th.
So she comes out of the game, and Hatfield back in with 22.4 to play in the first half. Emily Hughes back for Rochester, and Peterson to come out. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. First half numbers, and Val Cesaris will come up and talk about the swimming that's going on right now at the Warsaw Sectional.
Isabel looking to break about a 9.5-minute drought.
And she does so. 17-6. One more coming for the junior to cut this lead to 10. We haven't scored in 9.5 minutes, and we're still only down by, well, 11.
10, 11, yep.
Misses the second free throw. Rebound to Manchester. West has it now with 15. West across the timeline with 13. MO 12, now 11, now to 10 on the right wing. Bounce pass to Fierce Toast with 8. Back to West with 7. West works to the right side with 4, with 3, with 2, off the rim, no good. Bozzoni picks it up and not going to get a shot off before the buzzer. At halftime, Manchester leads Rochester 17-6. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
There's been a lot of talk lately about net neutrality. At RTC, our customers receive the full and open internet and nothing less. We are not the gatekeeper, toll operator, or curator. A free and open internet has been the single biggest driver of innovation over the last generation, and we want that engine of innovation to live on in our customers. If you ever have a question about your internet service, give RTC a call. We are here for you. This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available, and free production is included with every sponsorship package. If you are seeing this, then your customers are seeing it too. RTC TV4. See for yourself. Please.
At halftime, Manchester leads Rochester 17-6. Brad, first half numbers.
For the Lady Squires, West with 2, Lauer with 2, Fierstos with 2, Kripe with 4, and Bozzoni with 7. They were 6 of 9 from the free throw line in that first half and committed 12 turnovers. The Lady Zebras, Hughes with 2, Rogers with 3, and Isabel with 1. They were 1 of 4 from the line and turned the ball over 19 times in that first half.
19 times.
Yes. Most of which were unforced.
Yeah, you're right.
So
at halftime, 17-6, we're going to take a quick timeout where we want to get Val as much time as he needs to go through some swimming results at the Warsaw Sectional. That's next, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
Back at Manchester High School, we're at halftime right now. Manchester leading Rochester 17-6, and it hasn't been a pretty half for either team really right now. And Val, I'm going to let you come in. Val Cesaris, sports editor of the Rochester Sentinel, joins us here. And sectional going on tonight at Warsaw and varsity swimming.
Right.
You have some results.
Right, and of course this was supposed to take place yesterday, but it was moved to Friday because of the bad weather we've had all week. So the finals are at 1 o'clock tomorrow, so the girls are going to have to get right back at it tomorrow. The story for Rochester is that they had Adrian Shepard qualified for the finals in both the 200 individual medley and the 100 butterfly. And in the 500 freestyle, the other story was Rochester qualified 2 and 3. McKenna Beal, freshman, qualified second, and Ellie Shank was third. And McKenna Beal was only 2 seconds off the top qualifier, so she's definitely got a chance, tomorrow. Obviously, to advance to state, you have to win your sectional.
Okay.
I mean, that's it. There's a state qualifying standard, but that's really tough to meet, and rarely does somebody come out of the Warsaw sectional and meet that state qualifying standard. So
Without winning.
Without winning.
Yeah.
I mean, Maddie Sailors did 2-3 years ago, but that was very rare.
Okay.
So McKenna's going to have a chance as a freshman in that event. And Rochester also qualified Gracie Andrews. She advanced in the 100 breaststroke. And in the 200 freestyle, Ellie Schenk and McKenna Beal advanced in that event as well. And plus Rochester had all 3 of their relays advanced to the finals as well. But no top qualifiers, so we'll have a lot of underdogs tomorrow if you're a Rochester fan.
So they normally get a day and then come back on Saturday
right, they normally get that Friday to rest.
Right. Is that a big deal?
I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal for Rochester just because the taper. They've been resting a lot already, so their legs are strong. I think they'll be able to go back tomorrow and have, a good time tomorrow.
Sure. And that's at 1 o'clock at Warsaw.
Right. The diving prelim, there's no diving today. The diving prelims are 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then 1 o'clock is when the whole swimming and diving finals are.
And Rochester has some divers?
They don't.
They do not. Okay.
They got a couple boys divers.
Okay. And when is that sectional?
The boys sectional is 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
February 14th is the prelims, and February 16th is the finals.
That too at Warsaw.
Also at Warsaw.
Okay. Val, thank you very much. Actually, before I let you go, your take on the first half.
I counted 21 turnovers for Rochester. I mean, Rochester played them just, a week or two ago, and I mean, Manchester's upped their defensive intensity from what we saw, and Rochester's just not gotten comfortable in their offense. I like to see Macy Brown shoot more, go down with your most experienced players, your most experienced shooters. Hey, Manchester is really clamping down on the paint.
Yeah, right.
I mean, whenever Rochester gets a foot in the paint, they are just.
I didn't think Rochester's defense was too terribly bad in the first half. I thought we played well. And as bad as that first half was, only down by 11.
Right, and you can tell Manchester's bothered by Rochester's length in that 1-2-2 zone with Caitlin Rogers on top of Jenny Isbell. I think Jenny Isbell's doing a great job on the defensive end, but somebody's got to make some shots. Emily Hughes is doing a good job defensively as well. Fierstos, who had 22 points against Valley when they won the TRC, she has been a total non-factor in this game, but.
And they're firing some threes, but they're just not going right now for Manchester.
Right. Okay. But Rochester's going to have to a couple more and help out the ball handler. Help her out. Don't just – it seems like the girls, they get the ball to Cammie or Macy, and then they turn their head and they run up court. You can't do that. Manchester's determined just not to let you walk the ball up the court.
Is it safe to say, Val, this is Oak Hills to lose?
I think so. I mean, that's what I said when I wrote my sectional preview column. I ranked the 7 teams in our area – from most likely to least likely to win the sectional. I put Rochester at number 7. I'm sorry, ladies.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, and again, it's no offense to Rochester. Oak Hill is just that good. I mean, I thought Oak Hill played their B game today against North Miami, against a good North Miami team. I thought they played their B minus game and they won by 30.
They're so good. You know what? That first game, I think the difference to that game was the amount of offensive rebounds and putbacks for Oak Hill.
I just talked with Lori Working after the game, and she said that was a big factor. She goes, we think we're in position, but their girls are just so big, and they're always in great position. And I think that really, you can tell North Miami just their heads kind of sunk a little bit after when they couldn't get a defensive rebound. Because North Miami's been a great rebounding team all year. I thought Taylor Westgate was the best player on the court for Oak Hill. I mean, she. Even without scoring it, I think she had 11 points, but it was just her defense and her rebounding plus the 11 points.
Yeah.
And how many threes did Oak Hill shoot? Maybe 2 the entire game?
Maybe.
They made 1, but they were very patient, and they made sure they got good shots every time down.
I noticed that, speaking of patience, they would work the ball around the perimeter, and just as the defense falls asleep or just takes one pass off, they find that streaker in the middle.
Yeah, you can tell. I mean, not only are they good and they're big, but they played a lot of basketball together.
You don't get to number 3 by luck.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that ranking is actually low. I mean, who did Oak Hill lose to? Fort Wayne Southside. I mean, all of their losses are to good 3A and 4A teams.
Yeah.
I mean, Oak Hill's the real deal.
Val, thank you.
If they're not holding a trophy on Monday night, we got a big story.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Val, thank you very
All right.
much.
Thanks, guys.
Val Cesaris, editor of the Rochester Sentinel. We're going to take a 90-second timeout. Come back to the third quarter. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner & Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com. Woodlawn Hospital, offering state-of-the-art care for Fulton County for over 100 years. Woodlawn Hospital is the area's healthcare leader. Comprehensive care from head to toe. Online at woodlawnhospital.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Going to the third quarter, Rochester will start with the basketball. Some scores from around the area again. Mechanical wins tonight. They beat Frankfort, that is, 53-43. Lakeland defeats Wawasee 53-33. It'll be Lakeland and Tippecanoe Valley tomorrow night in the semifinal round. Southwood defeats Frontier 56-27. At halftime, West Lafayette 40, Peru 20. And Hebron defeats Boone Grove 62-39. Hebron will play, congratulations, North Judson tomorrow night. And all of a sudden, Rochester goes to the basket. Kripe commits a foul, and Rogers is going to go to the line to shoot two. Speaking of really good teams.
Fouls on Kripe, her second.
North Judson's really good.
Yeah.
Rogers the line for two. First one is good. 11 seconds into the third quarter. Kripe comes out of the game. I'm sorry, what did you say? How many fouls?
Two.
And West back in for Manchester. One more coming for Rogers, looking to cut this 10-point lead to 9, and she does so. 17-8, Manchester. They've got the basketball now going to our right. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman.
That's the quickest points Rochester scored in a quarter all night tonight.
Took 11 seconds. Bounce pass to Fierstos. Rochester still in that zone out to West on the left wing. Bounce pass to top to Hatfield. One dribble to her right to Fierstos. Back to West. Between the rings for West. Hands off to Fierstos, who brings it back top of the key. Left side of Hatfield. Bounce pass to West down the center circle and directs traffic and works to her left side. Now high on the left side for Manchester. Top to Hatfield. Gets a pick from Lauer at the right elbow on the pick and roll. Lauer, shot on the glass, no way. No good, that is. And the foul coming on McKee. And that's going to send Lauer to the line to shoot two for Manchester. Nice pick and roll that time for Manchester.
That'll be the second on McKee. So Brown with 3, Hughes and Peterson and McKee all with 2.
Lauer at the line to shoot two for Manchester. First one is good. Lead is back to 10 for the Squires. Again, the winner of this one will get Lewis Cass tomorrow night in game number 2. First game, we'll have Oak Hill and Wabash in the semifinal round. Our next guaranteed broadcast will be Tuesday night. Second one's good by Lauer. As the Rochester guys will battle Southwood at home in a makeup game from last week. Manchester in a full-court press. Macy Brown playing with 3 fouls. Brings it up the floor through the center circle. Works against Bozzoni. Bounce pass to Hughes. Emily, crossover dribble against West. Out to McKee, left side to Brown. Macy going to be fouled on the drive by Bozzoni. It'll be out of bounds to Rochester on the baseline.
Bozzoni picks up her second.
6:52 to play in the third quarter. Rochester down by 11. Macy baseline left. And her pass is knocked out of bounds by Fierstos. We'll try it again, this time in front of the Rochester bench. Macy, lob pass into Rogers, grabs it, puts it up, good. Manchester's lead down to 9.
Rogers was 7 of the 10.
Good for her. West of Fierstos, 10 feet behind the arc, right wing to Lauer. Outside of Hatfield, the volleyball line. Hands off to Fierstos, now to West. West directs traffic at the volleyball line between the circles. Takes it to the left, a couple of dribbles, picks up her dribble. Now to Hatfield, gets a screen from Lauer. In the paint, gives him the corner to Hatfield. Back to West, left wing, around the horn to Fierstos on the right side. Back to West, now left side of Hatfield, behind the arc, left side. Hatfield against the zone, to Fierstos in the paint. Her jumper is blocked by McKee, picked up by Kinsey, now to Brown. Macy brings it up the floor, Rochester down by 9. Under 6 to play in the third quarter. Brown looks back door to Peterson, can't get her. Now has her on the left wing behind the arc against Fierstos in the man-to-man defense. Hughes through her hands. Over and back, we're going to say tipped. Rochester has it. Rogers outside to Brown. Macy, long two-point jumper short. Hughes put back, no good, but a foul coming on Manchester. Emily Hughes will go to the line to shoot 2. That was a little messy.
Yeah, it was, to say the least. Lauer going to pick up the foul, her first, team third.
Manchester wants a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout North Central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com.
At the line, Emily Hughes, 2 shots.
.537 to play in the third quarter. Rochester down by 9. Emily Hughes just missed her first free throw. The freshman will have one more. Second one is good this time. 19-11. Jenny Isbell back in. Hughes will come out. Rochester down by 8. Again, a 5:37 to play in the third. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. Manchester will walk it up. West against the 1-2-2. West drives it left to Bozzoni. Her shot no good, but Isbell's going to pick up a cheap foul, and she'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's the first on Isabel.
So at the line is Bozzoni. The first one is good, and she'll have one more as the lead back to 9 now for Manchester. Again, Bozzoni, 5'7" sophomore for Manchester. The line for an opportunity pushes back to 10. She does not. Rebound to Peterson. Karina rips and runs for Rochester. Now they're down by 9 with 5:16 to play in the third quarter. Bounce pass to Isbell against Lauer. Takes her to the right. Now to Brown straight away. Top of the key. Back to Isbell. Jenny. Entry pass to McKee. Backs her way in. Throws up a tough shot. It is good.
McKee gets her first points of the game.
And now the lead is down to 7. 4:50 to play in the third. Lewis Castle waits the winner tomorrow night. Manchester looks confused to me.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know. At this point in time in the year, I can't imagine why they would be.
West near side of Fierstos. High on the right side, right in front of their bench, to Hatfield. That 1-2-2, maybe the 2-3 zone, is really confusing Manchester at this point. West to the left elbow. Over the top to Bozzoni. 15-footer on the baseline is no good. Weak side rebound to Isbell. Jenny hands off to Brown. Rochester runs down by 7 with 4:10 to play in the third. Macy works left side. Oh, backdoor to
Miss Peterson on the back
McKee.
door.
Goes to the basket hard, throws up a shot. No good. And Fierce Toast with the rebound. Nice move by McKee. And she just missed the shot. Fierce Toast, 3, right wing, good. Ugh. Back to a 10-point lead for Manchester at 23-13. Full court press by the
Just
Squires.
a second three-pointer by Manchester today.
Brown is fouled by Emma West. It'll be out of bounds to Rochester baseline left, under 4 to play in the third. Rochester back down by 10.
It's 2 on West.
Day back in and allow her to sit down for the Squires. Macy will look to get it in around West. Bounce pass to Rogers. Macy in the left corner. Bounce pass top the key to Peterson. Ball loose, picked up by Brown. Macy dribbles with the right hand, brings it top of the key to the volleyball line between the rings. Ooh, almost double dribbled. High on the right side, now to Peterson between the circles. Karina to Isbell. Jenny runs the baseline. Her pass taken away by Bozzoni. Bozzoni comes the other way. Out of Fierce Toast on the right wing. Yep,
She's got a
she's gonna
wide
pop
open three right there.
Hatfield in the paint, loses the handle. Ball loose, picked up by Manchester and West. And West chucks her out of bounds. Three minutes to play in the third. And now Rochester will take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the county, not the country. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
Back at Manchester. Rochester the basketball gets a four-court press. Isbell's got to get it across before the 10-second count. She just does, and then chucks her out of bounds. .250 to play in the third. Manchester by 10. Manchester basketball going to our right. Rochester in the zone defense. Nope, Rochester in a triangle and 2. Brown is chasing Fierce Toast. Peterson is chasing Bozzoni.
Those were the two that hurt us in the first matchup between these two.
West with it. A couple of dribbles, not a day. Who gives to Fierce Toast? Fierce Toast around a couple of picks to Hatfield. Gives to Bozzoni. Bozzoni against a triangle and 2 today. Day wasn't even expecting that handoff and got it out to Hatfield. Her 3, no good. Offensive rebounded West.
And nobody Gardner.
West at the left elbow, not even looking to shoot. Outside to Hatfield. Hands off to Fierce Toast. Over the top today. Down little West, and she stepped out of bounds. How many turnovers do we have total?
For Rochester?
You want me to get my calculator out? No, total.
21, 31, 40.
40 turnovers in this basketball game.
Yes.
And there's a minute 50 to play in this third quarter. Peterson, lob pass to Rogers. Kalen backs her way into the paint. Loses the handle, but we're going to have a jump ball. Manchester going to get it back on the turnover. Pretty late call. 100 seconds to play in the third quarter. Manchester by 10. And now we're going to have a technical
warning
on the bench. Those two have been kind of going at it all night.
Yeah. I think he's being generous, giving him a warning, probably.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if I've ever seen a warning to tell a coach to shut up. It's usually bang.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe it changes the sectional, huh?
I don't know.
I don't have any idea. You know, this guy that I've watched him call a bunch of games. He's pretty good. He's been doing it a couple of days.
Yeah.
And the pass is tipped out of bounds by Rogers. Grep.
Everybody just stood there and watched.
Kalen Rogers an opportunity to pick up that loose ball and just kind of let it go out of bounds. Manchester keep possession in front of their bench going to our right. Minute 15 to play in the third. It's a 10-point lead for Manchester. West. It's a half-court trap to West again from Day. West goes to the basket, throws up a tough shot, and the rebound to McKee. Now to Brown. Under a minute to play in the third. Rochester down by 10. Bounce pass top to Peterson. Peterson against Fierstos. Hands off to Brown in the center circle with 45. Macy scored yet this game? To Peterson behind the arc.
No.
Karina then fouled on the way to the basket by Manchester. It'll be out of bounds to Rochester.
So Bozzoni going to pick up that foul. That's her third. Team fifth.
Lauer comes in, and coming out of the game for Manchester is West. 40 seconds to play in the third, and Coach Everett's going to send in for the first time tonight Bailey Mooney, a 5'5 junior. And Bozzoni with 3 fouls will come out. Brown, lob pass to McKee. We're going to another illegal screen. Are you kidding me? That's a third illegal screen tonight, and this one's whistled against Lexi Thomas.
That's her second.
And now we're going to have a push-off whistle against Hatfield.
Yep. So Hatfield picks up her second. All righty.
I watched that play. Of course, I couldn't see her right arm, so I don't know if she pushed off or not, but it looked pretty innocent to me. Be careful, Lex, you're going to get it again.
I was just saying, there's a lot of banging down low.
Entry pass comes in through the hands of Peterson. Fierstos layup is good. Manchester matches their biggest lead tonight at 12. It's 25-13 with 28. Macy just go to the basket. Leaner off the glass is no good. McKee put back off the window is no good. Ball being tipped out. Brown comes out with it with 19. Macy with 15. The center circle with 13. Brown dribbles with 10. And then has her pocket picked by Hatfield with 9. Manchester has it now. And the foul coming. We're going to have a charging foul on Manchester's Hatfield.
Well, Hatfield picks up her third.
I think somebody has lost control of this basketball game. Are you kidding me? Maybe it is worth getting a warning after you get your ear chewed on to get a call like that. Oh, good heavens. Oh, gosh. 6 seconds to play in the third quarter. Full court press by Manchester. Brown gets it in with 5. Macy pushes up with 4, with 3, with 2. Macy, jumper at the buzzer on the way is no good. After 3, Manchester leads 25-13. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value in Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
We're going to the fourth and final quarter. It's 25-13, Manchester.
Yeah, it's been a head scratcher.
Winner of this game will get cast tomorrow night. Northfield at halftime leads Rice Central 39-13. Northfield and Southwood on the way.
A little bit of a mission this year.
I would say they have a point to prove, don't you?
Yeah, yep.
Rochester starts the fourth with the basketball, down by 12. Macy Brown yet to score in this basketball game. Isbell top the key. Jenny dribbling with the right hand, loses it to Bozzoni. Left-handed layup, good.
Bozzoni with 10 now.
23 turnovers on the Lady Zebras. Brown coast to coast, fouled from behind by, I believe, by West, and Rochester will shoot free throws.
West picks up her third.
Brian Jennings will join us in the post game.
Brown making her first trip to the free throw line.
Rochester down by 14, 27-13. Macy's free throw short. And the rebound to McKee, but we're going to have an over back call whistled against
Isbell.
Tammy Burkett will come back in.
That'll be her second.
So Burkett back in, Isbell will come out. 30 seconds into the fourth quarter. 14-point lead for Manchester.
Back in for Lady Zebras, number 1, Cameron Burkett.
West against Burkett. Crosses the timeline. Hesitates, now accelerates right in front of the Manchester bench. And we're going to say last touch by West out of bounds. I think Burkett might have got away with a reach in.
Yeah.
And a bump. And a reach in. Lob pass into Brown. Macy brings it up. Macy stops, kicks it back outside to Peterson on the left wing. Karina at the free throw line to McKee in the right elbow. McKee goes to the baseline, cut off by the defense. Backs it back outside, gives to a cutting Rogers. Layup is good.
Rogers with 9 for Rochester.
Of the 13, 15, 9 of the 15. Lead is down to 12. 6:50 to play in the game. West across the timeline against Burkett. Works the left wing, gets a pick from Lauer. Outside of Kripe. Now to Bozzoni on the right wing. Over the top to Lauer. Couple of dribbles, hands off to Fierstos. Fierstos in the paint. Tough jumper is good off the window. 29-15. Back to a 4-point lead, biggest of the night. Full court press by the Squires. Macy Brown quickly across the timeline, works to the right wing for Rochester. And Bozzoni works with her with 3 fouls. Bounce pass to Burkett. Cammy at the right elbow, out to Brown. Long 3, right wing, good!
Brown with her first bucket of the game.
And the lead is down to 11. Bozzoni to West across the timeline. West against Burkett to the right wing. Startle behind the arc. And her pass deflected, picked up by Rogers. And then she loses it, now Laurel has it. And then that pass now to Kripe, and she is fouled on the shot by Burkett. Kripe will go to the line to shoot 2.
Burkett will pick up her second.
Had an opportunity there to go the other way, we just forgot the ball. So Kripe goes to the line to shoot 2 for Manchester. They lead by 11 at 29-18. 5:40 to play in the fourth quarter. Free throw is short. She'll have one more. Hatfield back in. West comes out. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. One more coming for Kripe. The 5'8 senior for the Squires. Second one is no good. Rogers another rebound. Now Macy will bring it up, down by 11 with 5.5 to play in the game. Macy works the left wing. Bozzoni gets away with a reach in to McKee against the triple team. Kicks it out to Brown in the left corner to Burkett. Works right side to Peterson. Lob pass inside to Rogers. It's going to be ball's loose, kicked away. South Central defeats Triton tonight in 1A sectional action, 43-15. I thought there was a couple of times there Manchester just about tied up the Zebras.
Yeah, I think you're right. They definitely had a hand on the basketball.
Macy to Rogers. Jumper, good to foul!
Rogers with her 11th points.
Rochester an opportunity to cut this lead to 8 if Caitlin can make this freebie. And Emma West comes back into the game for Kripe, who's just picked up foul number 4.
Rogers at the line, 1 shot.
Rogers is the line for one. The sophomore flips a free throw.
Short.
It's no good, and it goes out of bounds. Manchester going to get it back. Rochester only down now by 9 with 5:15 to play in the game. Winner of this game cast tomorrow night. West against Burkett. West to bring it up. She travels. Good defense by Cammie Burkett.
16th turnover against
Just give me a whistle. Do it from here. Rochester basketball right in front of their own bench. Brown looks to get it in. Lob pass into Rogers. Caitlin loses the handle and her footing. Ball loose, picked up by Bozzoni.
Yeah, she twisted an ankle.
And now we're going to stop things. And she's holding that right ankle, and Lexi Thomas will come back in. Christina Hughes with her cape on flies into the action to check this one out. Lexi still sitting in the lane. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
Ever wonder why your local TV bill keeps going up? The bulk of these increases are due to rising network fees. A few powerful media companies dictate what TV providers must pay to offer their channels to you. And every time networks demand more money, that affects what you pay every month. If TV providers don't meet their demands, networks threaten blackouts. Since 1999, these network fees have increased by 3.5 times the rate of inflation. To see what we're doing to keep network fees in check, visit tvonmyside.com.
So Rogers comes off the floor, and Manchester turns it back over. Zebras have it back down by 9 with 4:50 to play in the game. Burkett works left side, entry pass to Thomas. She throws up a tough shot, no good. Fierce goes with the rebound. Baseball pass ahead is knocked away by Burkett. She's even going out of bounds. No, she doesn't.
Yep. Tried to tiptoe the sideline.
Good effort.
Not quite.
Manchester uses a timeout. It's a 60. You're listening to Lady Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
First Federal Savings Bank has provided mortgage loans for over 50 years.
We're now offering commercial loans to support our local businesses.
We offer business loans for real estate, equipment, lines of credit, and investments. We also offer Simply Free business checking for all your banking needs.
Contact Lindy Breeden, our business lending expert, to take the worry out of your business banking.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best bank.
There's been a lot of talk lately about net neutrality. At RTC, our customers receive the full and open internet and nothing less. We are not the gatekeeper, toll operator, or curator. A free and open internet has been the single biggest driver of innovation over the last generation, and we want that engine of innovation to live on in our customers. If you ever have a question about your internet service, give RTC a call. We are here for you.
.438 to play in the game. Manchester leads 29-20. After their timeout, they'll have the basketball in front of their bench going to our right. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselm. Fierce Toast will look to get it in around Macy Brown. Fierce Toast to Hatfield. Hatfield down low to West on the block. Dribbles away from the defense. Now brings it out and resets for Manchester.
Burkett right on West as she dribbles out front.
Hatfield with the basketball now. Everything happening around behind the arc. Bounce pass to Bozzoni. Bozzoni and Brown each were playing with three fouls, and now we're going to have a foul, I believe, on Burkett. That'll be out of bounds to Manchester with 4:13 to play in the game.
That'll be the third on Burkett. Team sixth.
Fierce Dose out of bounds, baseline left. Studies. Oh, Lauer wide open underneath the basket, puts it in for 2. And then the lead is 11 again. Full court press by Manchester. I'm fairly confident I could have made that. That was pretty wide open. Burkett through the center circle. Works to the right wing. Gives to Brown against Hatfield. Now Bozzoni, that is. Down low to Thomas. Lexi, tough shot with her shoulders not square to the basket.
Burkett, great job of saving the ball from going out of bounds. Gets it to McKee.
And she buries it from free throw line.
Get the jumper from about 8 feet.
Little man-to-man pressure in the backcourt. West across the timeline, works to the right wing. Picks up her dribble. Now to West against Thomas. Hatfield, Lauer to West. 3:20 to play in the game. And Burkett has just picked up another foul. That's going to send Emma West to the line to shoot one of the bonus.
It's 4.
3:19 to play in the game. 9-point lead in favor of Manchester.
West just 2 points from the free throw line earlier in the game.
At the line, Emma West shooting 1 and 1.
Rogers and Isbell will check back in. Free throw short. Rebound to Peterson. Now to Brown. Macy across the timeline. Gets a pick from McKee. Works to the right wing. Hesitates. Now runs the baseline. Skip pass to Peterson. Karina goes to the basket. Tough shot. No good. Rebound tipped around. And now we're going to have a foul over the back on Lauer. And that's going to send McKee to the line to shoot one of the bonus.
Lauer picks up her second. Gonna let Peterson shoot.
Oh, okay. Peterson's first free throw barely draws iron, no good.
Back in for Rochester, number 32, Caitlin Rogers, and number 14.
One more coming for Peterson, looking to cut this lead to 8. Senior fires the second one, it's good this time. 31-23. Full court press by Rochester. Bozzoni brings it up against Peterson. Bozzoni crosses through the center circle, works to the left wing, gets a pick, works to the left elbow, now in the paint, kicks it to West. West now brings the top of the key to Lauer. 2:40 to play in the game. Manchester by 8. Lauer with it, now back to West. Rochester makes it, Manchester basically playing keep away. And then McKee fouls West on the drive. It'll send the senior Emma West back to the line to shoot 2.
It's the third against McKee.
2.5 to play in the game. It's an 8-point lead in favor of Manchester. West with an opportunity to put this back to double digits. First one is short. She'll have one more. Kripe will come back for the Squires. And she'll replace Hatfield. Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. 2.5 to play in the game. Rochester down by 8. West with one more for Manchester, looking to push this lead back to 9. Second one is short and rolls over the front of the rim and goes in. Full court press by Manchester. Brown against Bozzoni. Brown across the timeline. Left wing, gets a pick from Isbell. 3 left side is no good. Jenny, put back, good. And now the lead is down to 7. 2 to play in the game. West across the timeline, works top of the key and pulls it back outside to the volleyball line.
Yeah, West not going to be a threat from anywhere other than the free throw line. She hasn't had a lot of success from there.
Lauer back to West. Down to 1:50 to play. Rochester down by 7.
Brown face guarding Bozzoni. Peterson on Fierstos.
And Isbell just picked up a foul, and that's going to send
it's all right.
Yeah, West back to the line to shoot one of the bonus.
Isabel's third.
With 1:50 to play.
West 3 of 5 from the line tonight.
Burkett comes back in. And Jenny will come out. Brian Jennings coming up in the post-game show. Our next broadcast will be Tuesday night. Rochester guys will battle Southwood in a TRC showdown. West makes the first free throw. It's 33-25 Manchester with 1:50 to play in the game. One more for the senior. Second one, good again. Leads back to 9. Brown gets the inbound pass for Peterson. Brings it up the floor through the center circle. Gets a pick from Peterson, works to the right wing. Now goes to the basket, stops, pops. Nope, we're going to have a charge on Brown.
That'll be her 4th.
Hatfield will come back in. 100 seconds to play in the game. Rochester down by 9, Manchester basketball. Hatfield gets the inbounds pass from Bozzoni. And now McKee is going to foul her, and Hatfield will walk to the other end of the floor and shoot 2, double bonus.
Yep. McKee will pick up her 4th. Hatfield 0 for 1 from the line earlier.
Rochester down by 9 with 1:36 to play in the game. Hatfield with 2.
Gets the first one.
Back into Manchester, number 52.
Hatfield with 1 more, looking to push this lead back to 11. The biggest lead of the night for Manchester has been 14, yeah. Hatfield's second one, no good. Burkett with the rebound. And now we're going to have a foul on the reach-in on Manchester, and Burkett will walk to the other end to shoot 2.
Hatfield going to pick up the reach-in foul. That'll be her 4th. No, they're going to call it on Lauer. That'll be her 3rd.
Kripe will come back after the first free throw. Isbell as well will come back. Burkett has 2 for Rochester. The freshman ready. It's good, nothing but net. So I'll have 1 more. McKee comes out. Sierra Weathers will come back, probably for fouling purposes, I'm guessing. And Rogers will come out. 1:33 to play in the game. Rochester down by 9. Burkett with 1 more for Rochester. The second on the way is no good. Pierce goes to the rebound. She rips and runs. And now Burkett's going to be called for a foul.
And she'll foul out, I think.
Pierce will go to the line to shoot 2. So that's going to send Pierce to the line to shoot 2. 90 seconds to play in the game. Pierce goes to the line for 2. A 9-point lead right now for Manchester with 90 seconds to play in the first round of the Class 2A sectional. Pierce's first free throw is good, and it makes it a 36-26 game. Again, Manchester, if they hold on here, will have Lewis Cass tomorrow night in the semifinal round. Second one is no good. McKee with the rebound. Now to Brown. Macy's been pretty quiet tonight. 4 points, maybe?
3.
3 points,
yep,
okay.
Just a 3-pointer.
Brown high on the left side, 1:15. 3 straight away, top of the keys, no good. Pierce goes to the rebound. Pierce then has her pocket picked by Peterson, and she can't save it from going out of bounds. Good effort. Weathers back in for Rochester. Jordan Jennings will come in for the first time for the Lady Zebras. Rogers and McKee out.
Real close to a similar score to what we had in the first matchup between these two.
Which was?
39-28.
Okay. It's very real chance that we can get there yet.
We're at 36-26 right now.
68 seconds to play. And then Fierceos travels. McKee and Rogers back in. Weathers and Jennings out. 1:07 to play. Rochester down by 10 at 36-26. Tomorrow night will be Oak Hill and Wabash in the first game, followed by Lewis Cass in the winner of this one. Brown, 3, left wing, nope. Rebound to Manchester. Hatfield loses the handle. Knocked out of bounds by Rochester. I thought we had the turnover.
Yeah, Brown dove head first into the chairs trying to save it. And
Jennings and Weathers back in.
Batten in to take Brown out.
In for the first time. Manchester will take a 60-second timeout. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Enjoy the game with an ice-cold Coke. Locally owned and operated since 1907, Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo proudly supports 28 high schools in north central Indiana. Our starting lineup of brands are sure to keep you hydrated on the sidelines and at home. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Kokomo. RTC TV4 thanks you for watching tonight's broadcast. Sponsorship and advertising opportunities are available, and free production is included with every sponsorship package. If you are seeing this, then your customers are seeing it too. RTC TV4. See for yourself. Please support the local sponsors who make this production possible.
"57 seconds to play in the game. Manchester by 10. And it'll be Manchester basketball out of bounds in front of the Rochester bench going to our right. Rochester in a full court press. Kripe will look to get it in. Kripe has her pass deflected. West has it. Ball loose. Still loose. Isbell now to Jennings. Timeout Rochester. 51 to play in the game. Rochester down by 10. It'll be a 30-second timeout. 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today.
$20 for Manchester.
Back at Manchester High School, 50 seconds to play in the game. Rochester down by 10. They just forced a turnover. Rogers has it. Dump pass to McKee. Leaner on the way off the window. No good. Gets it back. The putback is good. Down to 8 points. Clock rolls. Here comes the pressure. West picks it up to Fierce Toast. Just gets it across the timeline, and now we're going to have a foul in the backcourt.
And I'm thinking Brown is done. She just ran over Fierce Toast from behind.
Macy Brown had just fouled out, and Fierce Toast is still down for the Squires. And so we're going to have an injury timeout as Fierce Toast still down on the far sideline.
Yep.
We'll take a 30. You're listening to Ladies Zebra Basketball, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. The lawyers and staff at Peterson, Wagoner, and Perkins LLP are here to provide the highest quality legal and professional service to their clients presently and for the future. See a full list of services online at peterson-wagoner.com.
Well, Fierce Toast comes off the floor. The trainers are looking at her and checking out her neck and her head to see if there's an injury there. Doesn't look to be. So Day comes in. She'll shoot her free throws. Macy Brown is fouled out. First free throw for Day is good. And it pushes his lead back to 9 with 32.6 to play in the game. One more coming for Day. And Fierce Toast will come back in if Day makes his freebie. No good. Rogers the rebound to Peterson. Karita Peterson, one of the two seniors on the team, goes to the basket. Shot no good. West picks it up, and she's going to commit a foul. West will shoot two. Weathers will come in for her. That might be 5 on Peterson, is it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I got her for 3.
23.3 to play in the game. Allie Pearson will come in for the first time, and Coach Jennings going to empty his bench. It's a 9-point lead for Manchester right now. West with an opportunity pushes back to doubles. First one is good. Fierce back in. Weathers, Jennings, and Pearson comes in for Rochester. McKee, Rogers, and Isbell are finished.
Rogers, a pretty good game tonight. She finished with 11.
Yeah, there was one point in time there that she had all but maybe 3 or 4 points.
Yeah.
West with one more, looking to push this lead back to 11. She does not. Rebound to Peterson. She rips and runs. Karina for Rochester, running to our left and has it stolen from behind by Hatfield. Now to Fierce. Fierce loses the basketball to Peterson. Somebody going to get hurt. We're down to 10 seconds. Peterson on the baseline, cut off by the defense. Ball loose on the floor. Peterson just rips it away from the defense, and she's fouled on the shot. She'll go to the line to shoot 2 with 4.7. So Rochester's season going to come to an end. They're going to end their season at 8-14. Manchester going to go on to play Lewis Cass tomorrow night in the second game of the semifinal round here at Manchester High School. That'll follow the Oak Hill Wabash game tomorrow night. Peterson's free throw is good. Coach Everett will bring in a couple of kids as well. Emily Hughes will come back. She'll come back for Peterson if she makes this freebie. So Bozzoni and Fierce are finished. 4 seconds to play in the game. Second one no good. Rebound to Hatfield, and that'll do it. The final tonight, 38-29. Manchester holds on to beat Rochester. Post-game show next, 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors. Evans Agency in Rochester, offering farm liability, farm personal property, and farm outbuilding policies, all customized to fit your insurance needs. Let Judy help you protect all of your possessions. Online at evansagencyrochester.com. First Federal Savings Bank is your local mortgage lender with 6 locations throughout north central Indiana. Trust the professionals at First Federal Savings Bank. Online at firstfederalbanking.com. Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because, well, that's what we are. When you trust Co-Alliance Propane as your seriously local propane provider, you're trusting a team of professionals who live, work, and watch the game from right across the county, not the country. A team that's close by and seriously dedicated to your safety and providing the best service possible. Find out more about Co-Alliance Propane's seriously local service and how you can get 50 gallons of propane free at coalliancepropane.com.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by these local sponsors.
Enyard's True Value in Rental is your local one-stop shop for all of your home improvement and party rental needs. Let our friendly and knowledgeable staff help you with your next project or event. Start right. Start here. Stay connected with the fastest internet speeds available with RTC Fiber Communications. Voice, data, and video connectivity for the 21st century. Local service, local support, local investment. Online at rtc1.com.
Please support the local businesses that help us bring you this production.
Yep. Back at Manchester High School, well, the first round of the Class 2A Manchester Sectional in the books. Oak Hill defeats North Miami tonight, and the game you just saw and heard here on WROI and RTC4, Manchester holds on to defeat Rochester 38-29. Lady Zebra head coach Brian Jennings joins us here on the postgame show, and I thought that points were really hard to come by early on, maybe entire night if you want to say that. I thought our defense was pretty good in the first half.
Yeah, defense was very effective the first half. They ran their same offense. I thought we were ready for it. It's just we got to find a way to put the ball in the basket. And I think really the second half, I think our post players stepped up, kind of like what we were asking them to do all year long. We still don't constantly post. And when they figure that out, we're going to have some girls next year that'll be really vicious down there at the post. But, the biggest thing is I think we talked maybe in the pregame about fouls. They just got us at the free throw line tonight. We got to play better defense, moving our feet without fouling so much. But then we had to foul down the stretch. So, we gave it all we had tonight. Just came up a little bit short. They were the co-champ of the TRC, and we gave them everything that we could. Basically 2 games in a row now.
The points, like we said, were hard to come by, but even with a few minutes to go in the game, we're still right there within 2 or 3 possessions.
Yeah, a couple possessions. The thing that Manchester did to us tonight is they really took away our three-point shot. Yes, we were looking to get the ball inside, but they double-teamed out that post where we couldn't even get a kick out. So, we kind of lived a lot early in the season by that three-point shot, and when we can't get it, it doesn't open up the outside a little bit or the inside. It's just things to work on. We got a young group, a lot of them coming back next year, and, say goodbye to 3 seniors that really put a lot into the program over their 4 years. It's hard to see them go, but that's the way everybody. Only 4 teams will end their season on a happy note. So
well, and one of those teams, real honestly, could be a team we've already seen play tonight.
Yeah, they're just so big, so fast, and can shoot the ball. They're going to have a good run.
Yeah.
It's going to take a real tough team, and that matchup zone defense that they play, it's tough to score on that. So.
Well, Brian, I want to thank you for coming up here after each game. I want to thank you for all your time in the pregame shows, and it's been fun working with you this year. And I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate it and thank you very much.
Well, and I appreciate you guys calling the games. When you watch these games over and over again, and you're constantly seeing 30 turnovers, you guys kind of kept it positive for when the repeats go on the TV, and the kids hear this and know that, and really appreciate you guys staying positive for the girls, and hopefully we can get that cleaned up for next year. But really appreciate the job and the coverage that everybody does for these girls. I don't think they realize how lucky they are to have TV, radio, newspaper in your hometown,
right?
And you get to relive these games. May not be great to relive them right now, but 20 years from now, hopefully they'll appreciate it a little bit then.
Brian, thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll talk to you next year.
Yep.
Ladies Zebra head coach Brian Jennings here on the postgame show. We're going to take a quick timeout. Come back with postgame numbers. That's next. 92.1 WROI and RTC TV4.
At Co-Alliance, we understand the importance of community. After all, we've been farmer-owned since the 1920s. And now that we're a part of your community, we want to become your total agronomy solutions provider. Co-Alliance offers the latest in ag technology for your operation. From field scouting and fertilizers to premium seed and precision agriculture, we can help take your operation to the next level. Put the resources of your local cooperative to work. Contact Co-Alliance today. At Co-Alliance Propane, we treat our customers like neighbors because
Final time tonight, the final postgame of the year. Brad, you got postgame numbers.
Yeah, for Manchester, Day finished with 1. Hatfield finished with 1. Kripe finished with 4. West with 6. Lauer with 6. Bozzoni with 10. And Fierstos with 10 for the Lady Squires. They were 16 of 28 from the free throw line. As a matter of fact, they shot the same number of free throws in the fourth quarter, 7 of 15, that Rochester did for the game, 7 of 16.
Ouch.
Manchester uncharacteristically turned the ball over 22 times. I guess you could contribute that to the Rochester defense, that triangle and 2 or that 3 and 2 for the first half especially. For Rochester, Burkett finished with 1. Peterson with 2. Brown with 3. Hughes with 3. Jenny Isabel with 3. Kenzie McKee finished with 6, and Caitlin Rogers led all scorers tonight, believe it or not, with 11 points. The Zebras, like I said, 7 of 6 from the free throw line, and they turned the ball over 26 times.
Not bad for having 21 at halftime.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they cleaned it up in the second half a little bit. Got more scoring in the second half. Just that second quarter really was the killer.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
Getting outscored 9-1 there.
Yeah, and that one coming with about a minute to play in the first half.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, our high school basketball, girls basketball season has come to an end. Rochester ends their run this year at 8-14. And our next broadcast will be Tuesday night as the Rochester guys will host Southwood in a TRC showdown. So Brad and I will be back for that. Paul, thank you for your time back at the radio station. For Brad Thomas, I'm David Musselman. We'll talk to you Tuesday night. See you.
Bye.
See you, Paul.